This week, Democrats in Congress introduced a bill to increase the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour. As it stands now, the proposal wouldn't do this immediately. It would include gradual wage increases until 2025, when it would hit the $15 minimum. President Joe Biden has included this increase in his $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief plan. In case that package doesn't pass with the minimum wage change, Democrats have introduced a separate bill. The minimum wage is a controversial subject because experts and economists disagree over the effects it has. Supporters of raising the wage say it will put more money in the pockets of workers, encouraging them to spend more, and that this would help businesses and stimulate the economy. Opponents of raising the wage say it will do the opposite, that it would cause smaller businesses and restaurants to lay off workers because these organizations don't make enough in profits to afford the higher labor costs. There's a political divide over this subject too. Democrats generally favor the minimum wage increase. Republicans generally oppose it. Democrats say it would help individuals who are struggling because of the coronavirus pandemic. Republicans say it would hurt businesses that are struggling because of the coronavirus pandemic, and individuals too if their jobs are cut. Part of the reason why Democrats are pushing for it now is because they have control over both Vice President during the Obama administration. Joe Biden had the job of overseeing the government's $840 billion economic stimulus package, which was passed in 2009 to help the nation recover from the Great Recession. When he was vice president during the Trump administration, Mike Pence had the job of overseeing the government's coronavirus task force, which was established in 2020 to help the nation address the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, CNN contributor Kelly Mena explains the potential role of Vice President Kamala Harris as the United States' second-in-command.
Thanks, Carl. Kamala Harris might be the first woman, Black, and South Asian individual to hold the office of the Vice President, but the role is crucial to the running of the federal government. The Vice President's constitutional role is as President of the U.S. Senate. As the head of the powerful upper chamber of Congress, the VP's main role is to break ties. This year, that could very possibly happen as Democrats are equal with Republicans for the number of members they have in the chamber. Though the VP role is also to be there in case anything happens to the president, the position can be quite influential due to its proximity to the commander-in-chief. For example, Richard Nixon was a busy VP under former President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who gave him a slew of responsibilities, including being well informed of the activities and initiatives of the administration. Dick Cheney notably was on former President George W. Bush's search committee for vice president and then chose himself to be Bush's running mate. Cheney went on to play an important role in Bush's foreign policy decisions amid the September 11 attacks. The modern vice president functions as part of the president's inner circle, influencing policy changes and orders. VPs also have their office in the West Wing of the White House. Some even become president themselves. President Joe Biden has signaled that Harris will have a significant role in his administration. In the first week, she has been right by his side as he signed several executive orders and been next to him in the Oval Office to receive the president's daily briefing. Carl, the question now remains, with a historical first in the VP's office, how much influence will Harris have on the Biden administration?
And the second trivia. Plum, humpback, and silver are all used to describe a type of what? Sunfish, eel, whale, or salmon. These are all salmon, a large type of fish you'll find in the Atlantic and Pacific. Atlantic salmon are anadromous, which means they can live in saltwater and freshwater. They're considered the king of fish because they're extraordinary jumpers, able to leap tall obstacles like waterfalls when swimming upstream. Dams, however, are another story. Some experts say they're the biggest threat to the endangered Atlantic salmon. There are a number of efforts to populate their numbers in the wild. These facilities come with challenges of their own, and their results when it comes to Atlantic salmon are mixed.
The Atlantic salmon, over the course of its lifetime, It will travel from its birthplace in the rivers flowing into the North Atlantic, up north as far as Greenland, and back again to lay their eggs. It's an epic journey, but the majestic salmon run may become a thing of the past. In the U.S., the Atlantic salmon is heavily pollution and pesticides have severely affected the river habitat. But there's one thing, more than another, that has devastated their numbers.
Dams were the primary and remain the primary issue, and those dams could be as small as a culvert at a road crossing that the salmon just can't get up and over. 10 to 15 years, we could see this fish gone from the planet forever if we don't move to action.
Wayne Shaw manages the Down East Salmon Federation hatcheries in Maine.
Over 200 years in the United States, there have been attempts made to maintain, restore, and perpetuate salmon. We've adopted the technique developed by Peter Gray, and as it turns out, it's well for us.
Peter Gray ran a hatchery on the river in Northumberland, UK. When he started, the river was heavily polluted and dammed. The salmon population was almost non-existent. Peter's unique methodology, alongside habitat restoration and pollution reduction, contributed to one of the biggest salmon recovery success stories in history.
Peter developed a technique over time that naturalized the hatchery method such that the fish were treated more like a wild fish and less like a foreign species.
Based on Peter's methodology, the Down East hatcheries try and rear their salmon eggs in conditions that match their natural environment, including clean river water, dark bottom tanks, and positioning them over the borders. But there's a strong debate around hatcheries, with many facilities thought to do more harm than good to salmon populations.
Science says that hatcheries are not as strong as wild fish. For instance, in the USA, where wild stocks of salmon are so low, really the only way to be a catalyst to get those stocks back is to have salmon hatcheries. So it is a balance. Stocking to restore your stocks, then stock at a time when you can let nature take its course and damage those stocks genetically.
We're keeping the hatchery manager out of the picture as much as possible, with the intent of actually closing the hatchery as soon as possible. If we were to do nothing, these fish would quickly move toward extinction.
Success is measured by finding the eggs of adult salmon returning to the river and linking their genetics to those of the hatchery fish.
We're seeing as much as 20 times the return rate. That gives us hope that, in fact, we can turn things around much more quickly.
Conserving salmon does so much more than save the species. It's an umbrella species. Protecting salmon helps all life in the habitat.
If salmon are running abundance, then things are okay.
Hey, we have a newsletter, and you're gonna love it. If you're an educator or a parent looking for a preview of what's on each day's show, please visit CNN10.com and click on Sign Up for Daily Emails. You'll get a sneak peek sent to your inbox every weeknight. It has been said that Border Collies are the smartest breed of dog. Debate that if you want, but there is no debate that Wish and Halo, two Border Collies in California, have just set a Guinness World Record for performing the most tricks by two dogs in 1 minute. How many did they do? 28. And separately, one of them set a new record for the fastest 5-meter crawl by a dog. Wish went the distance in just over 2 seconds. Who needs Mensa? Who's got Dogsa, the training they had as part of their dogma. It's one thing to know how to sit, speak, and stay. Those two could read at and probably crochet. Are they cute? They're IQ, with plenty of sense to bow wow IntelliLadies and intelligence. Bassick High School in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Please be subscribing and leaving a comment at youtube.com/CNN10. I'm Carl Azus. Have a great rest of your day.
I'm not asking you to comment on this article, or on this presentation, but it is there. Take a look at it. There's a lot going on here. To me, one of the big stories was the raising of the minimum wage. Currently, the federal minimum wage is somewhere around $7 and change an hour, and they are proposing to increase it to $15 an hour by 2025, so that would mean within 3 years they would like to raise it another $8 an hour. What do you think? Any feedback on it? Do you think it's doable? Do you think it's feasible? Because the thing is that you need to remember is if we do that, that means the cost for everything from McDonald's hamburgers to the milk you buy in the store is going to go up. Because if we raise prices, that's the only way we're going to do it. So think about it before you kind of figure it out. I thought the idea about the salmon was interesting. I visited some salmon hatcheries up in Alaska. They're fascinating with what they do, but just think about preserving the species. I am going to let you pick you cannot log out, first of all. I will let you know when you are able to log out, which according to the time frame we have, which is 12:35, so in about 15 minutes you can log out. But go ahead and make sure you can get into Common Lit. Now, Brian, you said you needed your login information. The password is always going to be exactly what I put on the ELT slide. That will be what you need to do. Brian, you are Brian Hernandez Lopez 5. If you need your login information,